Taylor Swift's new album. This is every other video on my FYP, and I have some thoughts. And yes, it relates to being in a cult. I often wondered why I didn't get sucked into the Swiftie world. I always knew part of the reason was because I was in a cult when she released her first album. I was also the mother to two small children at the time that were 15 months apart. I was a little busy, but as she gained popularity, as people started creating fandoms and getting obsessed with her, I was like, what's the deal here? I would listen to some of her music that would come on the radio. Honestly, I'm really bad at attaching songs to artists sometimes, unless it's something I really, really, really like. So sometimes I was like, oh, I like that song. Who is that? Taylor Swift? Oh, okay, cool. I know, Swifties. I know. I am a disappointment to you, but hear me out. Do not come at me yet. Listen to the whole video, and if you want to come at me, then come at me. I can take it. I've been in a cult. I've been judged. Anyway, let's get back to this. I have not listened to the album yet. I am seeing people talk about the lyrics, the title of the album, and their assessment of what is happening here. And without listening to this music, I can tell you she is on a Tradwife track. But I want to first talk about the title of the album, Life of a Showgirl. Everyone is confused by the songs and lyrics that are within this album, why she would title it this way. It's not risque in any way that I can tell by the reviews. She doesn't talk about really being a sexual being and discovering that about herself. She talks about her finally being able to experience that within a relationship that is a committed relationship. That is fundamentalism. You are not allowed to express yourself as a sexual being outside of marriage. And even then, it has to be in a pretty package of your husband focused and focused on bearing children, which apparently one of her songs does explicitly. And explicitly meaning exactly, but not in explicit terms. The whole thing about the whole block looking like you, that's problematic on several different levels. So all of my comments have been, mark my words, 10 to 15 years from now, and this is giving her a lot longer than most people to wake up and realize they are in a controlling relationship, because she is creating a brand that includes Travis. And so to wake up and realize that that is harmful to her is going to take her longer, because she is all about brand. All about brand. Almost every decision she makes seems to be, in my opinion, about branding and how what she says and what she does and on what day she does it sends a message. So anyway, let's connect the cult part of it. I'm sorry. I apologize. This will probably offend a lot of Swifties, but y'all are culty. Do I believe Swifties are a cult? Meh. But y'all act culty. And I think that's why I've stayed away from it, because it was familiar and I didn't like how familiar it was to the way the cult responded to leaders in the cult. It was like she could do no wrong. She was innocent. She was treasured. She was put up on a pedestal. And I'm like, the minute you put somebody on a pedestal, they will fall. Are we watching her fall? And what will you do with this fall? Will you ignore the blatant message that she's giving? The change in innocent white girl to committed white wife in a white neighborhood in her little tiny box that looks like all the rest. Well, it won't be tiny. She has too much money to have a tiny house. The title of the album, I think y'all are missing something here. It's not about being a showgirl, risque, out there doing wild things. That would have been Britney Spears, in my opinion. The way that society responded to Britney Spears being a sexualized artist or embracing her sexuality as a young girl, which is kind of gross in a different way, but when she became an adult, it would have been more appropriate. But I still don't think it would have been acceptable, because I saw another creator on here, the video was talking about how white women can't have sex, they're innocent. It's unacceptable for us to have that desire and to talk about it. Showgirl is not your typical showgirl. It is a girl who was displayed to the whole world as an innocent little girl, even as an adult. It's the infantilization of Taylor Swift. Show girl. She was a girl put on show. This is what cults do to women. They prevent them from being actual human beings with desires, and they poison their desires of being a sexual person as being sinful or lustful, but they also put the responsibility of making other people lust after you your problem. It's your fault that that person lusted after you. It's your fault that this happened to you. It's your fault that you dressed this way and somebody looked at you the wrong way. The men are never responsible for their thoughts. Why does she have to rebrand herself as an adult and sexual being that is going to be in a committed relationship and have babies? Because she can't be desired as a infantilized woman anymore. Because she's a husband and she has to change her image from attracting people to her innocence and infantilization of her by so many people. She has to change her brand to being an adult. And the only way she can do that in this situation, because she is engaged to a man, and from what I hear and have seen, he's quite conservative, and kind of curious why she chose him. He doesn't seem to be on brand for her. And I'm not even a Swiftie. She's in her 30s. She can't be an innocent, infantilized woman forever. Her age is going to show eventually. And at this point, I'm curious how much she leaned into the grift of creating this persona of her. I don't think she's as innocent about her branding and message as some might think, because everything she does is calculated from what y'all say as Swifties. So if all of this has been calculated, even if the calculation shifted as her life shifted, it was all calculated, and y'all fell for it. Y'all were sucked into a cult-like experience, and now the leader has changed the message and y'all are freaking out. It is wild being a cult survivor and watching this from the outside and seeing cult tactics play out. And I just want to say, if you are a Swiftie or have been a big fan of Taylor Swift, that it is okay and it is valid, the feelings that you are feeling right now. Here's the thing though, you get to decide what you do with this information. You get to decide what you believe about Taylor Swift's intentions or where this is going for her, and whether you want to be a part of it or if you want to speak up against it. If you're happy that she's going down the Tradwife pipeline, it doesn't compute in my mind how Swifties would be chill with that, but I mean, you do you, boo. The more the fans of Taylor Swift push back and tell her, whoa, Taylor, whoa, this is looking a little bad, it may wake her up fast. If somebody hasn't told you today or ever, I am proud of you.